Hey y'all, welcome back to Dots and Beyond. I'm Beth. We're ready to set up my last playlist themed bullet journal spread. This is Rockin' Holidays. Let's go ahead and get started. Y'all, it is the end of the year, and that means a whole annual theme is coming to an end. Y'all voted for one of my holiday playlists for December, my Rockin' Holidays playlist, and I'm actually going to keep this as simple as possible. So we are going to start off with sketching out a rock and roll hand on the left side of the spread with the Rockin' Holidays title in it. In the voting descriptors, I branded this playlist as Rock Stars Make Holiday Albums Too. And then, of course, this week or just last week, Bon Jovi went and released another holiday single, this one titled Christmas Isn't Christmas. So it's the latest thing that has gotten added to my Rockin' Holidays playlist. And on the right side of the spread, I am going to sketch out an electric guitar. This is a very simplified clip art style electric guitar. Don't come at me for accuracy on this one. I'm using a 0.05 micron all the way through this setup because I just wanted to keep the supplies as simple as possible as well. So I'm doing all of the outline work with it. Now, I don't know about you, but my holiday season from Thanksgiving of this week through the end of the year is shaping up to be a busy one. Busy enough that I might not be able to release as many videos in December as I had anticipated. I will have family in and out of my way more often than I thought I was going to have, but we are still going to have a lot of extra content in December. Holiday lights are one of those sort of really simple doodles to do, and I decided to wrap my guitar in just some dangling holiday lights to give it a little bit more of that festive vibe. Now, I did go round and round on what colors I wanted to use in this particular setup, and again, I wanted to keep it simple and classic. I thought about using the colors that I have on my Christmas tree, which is sort of a teal and a copper color scheme, sort of the patina of copper color being the opposite, but I decided instead to just keep it to three classic colors of yellow, red, and green, and I actually went with sort of a tealish green anyway. I didn't want a traditional green or a traditional blue, so it's something there in the middle. Now, I did have to color in part of my electric guitar here. This Tombow is dying on me. I was 99.9% sure I had purchased a new black Tombow, but I can't find it, so we are making this one work, having to go over some of those areas with a little bit of extra fervor to get it to blacken up. And then I did have a teeny bit of cord from my lights here that was over top of the black, so I just inverted that and traced those out in white. And here comes that color, so that traditional pop of red, and I'm going to do just a red, yellow, green to keep them in order. It has been a minute since I have used my alphabet stamp, so we're going to use those for the headers in this setup. I'm also using a candied apple color stamp pad to stamp out both the header of December on the inside of my guitar, as well as the playlist title over on the left in the banners. That will wrap up my Rockin' Holidays cover page, and we're ready to go ahead and move on to the calendar. I am doing individual boxes for the calendar this month, and I thought, well, what's going to be more rock and roll than to just completely not use the ruler, because sometimes I like to use a ruler and sometimes I don't like to use a ruler. So we are going to freehand all the boxes for December on this calendar. This, of course, is easiest when I am pulling the pen towards me and keeping my wrist anchored. So in a second, we are going to flip this book around so I can do the other side as well, continuing that pulling motion towards me to get sort of straight lines. A few of them are wibbly wobbly here and there, and that is a-okay. And in this big space to the left that is left open because December starts on a Friday, I'm going to add in a drum set. So we have our guitar, we have our rock hand motion, and now we're putting in a drum set. And to this one, I'm just going to add a little reindeer face with a Rudolph nose. Again, we are not going for hyper-fixated reality here. This is clip art that I copied as well. The only thing I made sure to sort of get right was to use a stencil for the circles because I'm terrible at drawing my own circles. And then I'm bringing back that easiest of holiday decor, a string of lights, and we are just going to create one string of lights going across the top and down that right side to fill in that space. Once I have the lights drawn in, we're going to go ahead and add some color, beginning with that Rudolph nose. Then I'm also going to color in the symbols, a little bit of a yellow. Now with each strand of lights that I do, I did start it with a different color. So on the first page we started with red. On this page I'm going to start the string of lights here with this green color, just to shake it up a little bit and change the order of the lights on each page as they appear. And then on a whim I decided to color the top line of every single one of my calendar boxes and chose to keep all three colors instead of just one. So I started this with the yellow, rotated to the green, and then to the red. This isn't something I normally do. I typically stick with a single color if I'm going to color the top line of something, but it's the holiday season and I'm starting to feel a little festive, so we went with multiple colors. And then the only thing I have left to do on this calendar is give it some numbers. So we are going to number these from 1 to 31. If you are a Monday start person with a calendar, I'm sure everybody has talked about how satisfying it is this year that we end December on a Sunday. We're going to begin January on a Monday, the 1st, and it just feels so satisfying. But I almost forgot about my headers, so we are going to stamp in our headers here for Monday through Sunday as well as December, and then that is my completed calendar spread. Now, we're going to keep things super easy at this point and move on to my dailies. And I am going to do just 2 pages of design on the dailies with putting something directly down the middle of the page. I'll also stamp in a daily header. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I barely used my daily pages in this journal for the month of November. I have predominantly been on vacation. So this is the 15th that I am filming this. I went on vacation to Denver for 5 days, and then I took another 5 days to myself here at home. And I really haven't needed my journal with being on vacation. I did do a travel journal wrap up if you want to watch that video, but I've just been spending time with me and not really using my journal, and I didn't feel pressured to use my journal, and sometimes that's just the way that everything flows, and we have to give ourselves grace in those periods. Moving on from the microphone to what I'm going to put down the middle section of this next page, and here I'm going to go ahead and put a piano, and that does require the use of a ruler and lots of it. If you can think of anything else particularly long and skinny that I could stick down the middle of my daily pages for December, let me know down in the comments below. I could do a tall, skinny Christmas tree, I guess, at this point. What I would add to that Christmas tree that would be sort of rock and roll-ish, I don't necessarily know. So if you have any great comments, just let me know down in the comments and I'll see if I can't add those to my journal as well. And then for the decoration on this piano, I'm adding some holly leaves before coming in to color each one of the black keys and make sure this looks like a piano and not just a blank sketch. And y'all, that is it. That's gonna end this particular December bullet journal setup. Like I said, we're keeping it super simple with just black and white and 3 colors and making sure to acknowledge our Rockin' Holidays playlist theme. I have very much enjoyed having my viewers pick my playlist theme for most of the months in 2023. Y'all did an amazing job and we definitely ended up with some fun themes. I also feel like this Rockin' Holidays theme was kind of the cherry on top, so to speak, of our whole setup for this particular journal, since I had used the rock concerts posters like I have here in the back to do that setup. Since this is our last playlist setup and we've completed a full year, let me know down in the comments below what your favorite playlist theme has been. And if you haven't watched them all, leave me some kind of holiday emoji so that I know that you were here. A Christmas tree, a red dot for a reindeer nose, you pick. Thank you again for helping me pick my playlists for 2023. If you like this video, you know what to do. Please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next one.